Now, most times when you talk about jobs, oftentimes most people, because of the awareness they have received over the years about the limitations of jobs, and personally, I have talked about that in the past, talking about that jobs are not a sustainable way to secure your financial future because of inflation, because of other things like you're not able to scale time and you can't duplicate yourself, and therefore you have to be in a physical location, in a place, or you have to be involved before you can be able to make money. And you somehow are trapped in one place or in one thing at a time. And that way won't be able to, it's not a sustainable way, because as you grow older, you will discover that your strength will be decreasing, and then your ability to be productive will actually reduce. And of course, but your responsibility will be increasing, and that actually won't be a good way to secure a financial future, especially when you are getting older. And therefore, many young people will not want to pick a job, will not want to seek for a job. And I want to outline a lot or talk about the usefulness of jobs. And I will tie or start with part one. So I will make this part one. And the reason why I'm making it part one is because I have a number of reasons I want to give you why you have to or you can use job to your advantage. And today I'm going to start by talking about that jobs. In the part one, that job provides stability, and particularly I'm talking about it provides you with what we call the financial stability, early financial stability for you to plan. Now, it is interesting that you need to understand why this early financial stability is key. Now, let me just outline some few things for you to understand why I am laying emphasis that a young person is a graduate or someone who is a young professional needs to have this early financial stability to be able to do well subsequently. Now, as I said, many young people really looked at a job as where you really face what we call limitations, especially, for example, you have limits on your freedom. And personally, as an educator in the university, I have seen many students, when you ask them, especially those that have been aware of some of the limitations of jobs, you say, no, 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 me, I'm going to start my own business. I want to be a boss of my own. I want to be a boss of my own. Okay, just calm down first. Calm down. What I'm trying to say, I'm not saying you won't be a boss of your own, but you have to understand the implication. And most times when young people speak like that, it's because they don't understand what is ahead. Because when they're in school, mommy and daddy are sending money, and uncle is sending also money, and many other people actually are sending money because now they're in school. They don't understand that once they graduate, that money that they have been seeing will no longer be there. And most times, so they are talking as if the money they are seeing while they are students, that's how it will continue. No, 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 no. So they look at some of these limitations, for example, freedom, as well as also, as we have talked about earlier on, uh, this limited financial growth, because inflation is growing faster than actually your salary is also growing, or your income in the job is growing. So these limitations make a lot of young people to begin to run away, especially as they graduate uh, into what they think something bigger. And yes, I have acknowledged it that most job, as I said, you have to pay attention to how I'm using in this word. I said most jobs won't make you wealthy. Certainly, it won't make you wealthy. However, they play a critical role, and that's the focus of what I will be talking about today. They play a critical role and often overlooked, often overlooked actually. And that's the reason why I want to make it louder and point out to many young people today that this overlooked role that jobs play is a very critical one, and that you can use it to your own advantage. And because it will help you to build a very strong foundation for your future. It will help you to build a very strong foundation for your future. Now, what are some of the ways that jobs can help, particularly relating to providing early uh, stability, financial stability for you to plan for your future? First and foremost, I want you to understand that as a young person, one of the things immediately you graduate, you begin to face is that you will no longer be seeing money as you are seeing before, because mommy and daddy won't keep sending you money anyhow, because now you're a graduate. So one important thing that you want to uh, take away from your life is the pressure of survival. And this is where jobs fit or fill in or come in to help you, because it gives you a job gives you the breathing space to think, to prepare, to plan. So, because most of the things that will take away your mind from thinking big are now already solved. What are some of the things? Your basic needs, your bills, your rent. These are some things that are important. You don't want to wake up or you are thinking the next month, where will my food come from? Or how will I get what to eat? How will I get where to stay? I mean, when you keep thinking this way, because there's no provision for those things, there's no how you would think productively. There's no how you would think big. Most of your thinking will be survival. How to survive? Let me just eat and survive. Let me just eat and survive. Because that's the thing. And so your steady paycheck that comes either monthly or weekly would then relieve you from this anxiety, this pressure to survive, and then liberate your minds to begin to think big, to think on your next big move. And this is what many people actually do not realize that jobs provide for them. So at least a job will provide your basic needs. A job will will actually provide you with your bills, with your rent, and then that's how your mind will be free. Will be free to dream big, to plan strategically, and to prepare for your big move. For your big move. And the reason why I am stressing this is because hunger affects creativity. I want you to believe me. Because if you are very hungry and your focus is on survival, You won't be able to sit down and be thinking how you will big this. No, because you'll be thinking on how to eat, where to sleep, and all that. And that's why you have to pay attention to this issue I'm talking about. And so, that's why I call this strategic stability. The reason why it's strategic because of what it will help you. It will help you nurture your dream. It will help you to have space to plan well. Because each time you are returning back home, you're not thinking the next month, where will my food going to come? Where will I stay? Because already you are just coming home. The little time you have after work, it will be used for planning, for developing things, for thinking, for building here and there, putting all the necessary things tomorrow again after you've gone to work and then you have returned back from work. Then that's the time that you have. Well, don't worry about whether the time is 7 hours, 3 hours, or whatever. The fact is that that job is providing you with some resources to solve your basic need and then liberate your mind to begin to think on bigger things. This is important. And so I will summarize this way that job, and I want you to pay attention to this one, that job is not just a paycheck. I've heard this I have heard this over and over some times ago when people will say that a salary is actually a bribe that you are being given to forget your dreams. And when you look at it at the face value, it might look, that's the reality for a lot of people. But truly speaking, a job is not a trap. For a young man, for a person who really is visionary and understand, a job is not a trap. It is a launching pad. The reason why jobs have become, they have become traps for many people is because in the first place, the people got the employment or came into the job with the wrong mentality because they have seen the job as a permanent place. But any young man that comes into a job with a correct mindset will know that the goal is not to stay in the job. That is not the goal. The goal is not to stay in the job forever, for a very long time. You are not thinking to come there and retire. And then you'll be thinking of your retire benefits. Listen, I have told you before that you are the only one that can be able to determine your financial future. We have seen how government have been a bad manager of resources. So if you are thinking that your government will going to give you your pension, you are joking. You are joking. I have seen a lot. I'm not saying that your government might not do that, but I'm saying most government have disappointed people. And I'm not ready to actually put my whole destiny and depend on men. Understand? So there's a level of trust you have to. I'm not saying that you shouldn't maybe stay there, but at least if you are saying they are stay there because you desire to stay there anyway. But I'm telling you that my own, I don't think about pension at all. Understand? So uh, it's not that it's bad, but the uncertainty of the people that manage most of our pension is. I mean, it's not just if you're from Africa. I know sometimes you start abusing your you start abusing your leaders. It's not about Africa. I've studied a lot. In fact, even the US, we have so many government state government, you understand, that have mismanaged the pension funds of people, and they have the pensioners become, I mean, they were stranded. So the best way is to move and plan toward a sustainable way of living. And that's what we're talking about, because you don't just plan and be thinking and be hoping that this person was going to do this. And at the end of the day, what if the person disappoints you? What will you do? So planning ensures that you become proactive. You think even about the problem. What if tomorrow, after working for 35 years, for 30 years, for 40 years, and then you are about 60, 70, and then suddenly your pension is gone and or is mismanaged? What will you do? So it is not at that point you start thinking of what to do. No, you start thinking from today. And that's why my goal is to tell you what is ahead and also to encourage you to start thinking something that is sustainable. But I don't see job as a permanent place at all. I see a job as a place where it will be useful, in this case, to provide a financial stability, early financial stability. Of course, because I'm not expecting that all the rest of my life, because that's why I'm stressing the word early. Early financial stability that will help me work on something sustainable. Very important. And therefore, a job is not a trap. I don't see a job as a trap. And I don't see actually a job as a bribe to make me forget my plan, because I came into the job strategically. I was not sleeping. My eyes were open when I got that job. So, and I want your eyes to be open as you enter the job, because it's going to help you. It's not a trap, but I see a job as a launching pad. I see a job as a launching pad. And therefore, I see a job as my sponsor. I mean, I don't think so many people see it that way, because I see my job as my sponsor and a seed that can help me build something bigger. A seed that can help me build something bigger. I want to encourage you, if you're a young man now, begin to think very deeply. Don't be excited once you get into or you've secured a job and the next thing you start spending anyhow. That's not wisdom. If you're a young person, as I've often advocated, that one, you have to see that success is communal. I want to encourage you to see it that way, because that's what brings meaning to life, that your success ought to cause the success of someone. So if you are aware always that you're not just an individual, that other people are connected to you, you want to be responsible. You will not want to harm yourself, because as you harm yourself, you know you're harming others. You're harming your family. You're harming the society of a good person. We have seen too many bad things in the society, and the society is in need of solution. Is in need of people who will help the society grow. And I believe that you are one, and that's why I'm pointing out this truth to you. And the second part of it, which I want you to see, is that don't run away from a job from the perspective that, because I have seen many people online criticize why you shouldn't actually pick a job. So I'm going to open up a number of things why you should pick a job, especially in your early days, because it's going to help you a lot strategically. I call this one strategic stability, because it gives you this early strategic stability and help you to think very well. See you in the next video.